back to The Hague to hear from Brad Adams, who is before the hearing started. Adams, if you can hear me now, after Gambia's ends its second round observations today, would you call that one a strong message again from the Gambia?
Would be able to prosecute, investigate the crimes. And they made it very clear that this is not the case, that the military justice system in Myanmar fails. And they showed this really horrible case of the mass grave of 10 Rohingya who was shown in the court in a picture alive and then shown dead in a hole, having been executed by Myanmar soldiers. And the backstory is that the government had denied this had ever happened. And then Reuters investigated and published the story with government insiders saying it did happen, and they showed photographs. And instead of prosecuting the soldiers, the government prosecuted the journalists. And ultimately they were sentenced to 7 years in prison. And only after that outcry did the government prosecute the soldiers, but then they pardoned them after 7 months. And Human Rights Watch has been documenting Burmese military abuses for the last 2 decades and have shown repeatedly that the military justice system fails. And I think that the lawyers for Gambia made that case very convincing today. Another really interesting moment was yesterday, the lawyer for Myanmar, said that there was no genocide. But then the Gambia's lawyers dug up footage of him himself in 2013 going on Al Jazeera saying that what had happened up to that point looked like genocide. This was after a round of killings in 2012. And the situation in 2017 is much, much worse. And I think this was a devastating moment for the Myanmar side to have their lead lawyer service purposes in 2013, and now he's on the payroll of the Myanmar government denying their genocide.
We've also seen some of Gambian evidence from the Gambian side is based on the United Nations, fact-finding mission, and now the getting into journalistic articles and opinions. So where else do you think is possible sources of information that justifies genocide?
Is that a question for me?
Yes, yes. I suppose you would have something to say on this, because we've seen the as of
there are very many sources of information on this. The fact-finding mission is very comprehensive, but they rely on Human Rights Watch and international Rohingya groups, media groups, government sources, satellite imagery. We published satellite imagery that showed villages that were perfectly intact one day and then burned to the ground the next in September of 2017. There's no lack of documentation here. There's simply a lack of admission and acknowledgement by the Myanmar authorities. I don't think the court is going to have any trouble finding that the facts submitted are valid. I think that the only question is whether or not they will find genocidal intent, and I think the evidence of that is extremely strong, and the Myanmar government has done nothing to undermine that claim.
Yes. All right. Now that, of course, like you said, it looks like, of course, we are hearing some interesting argument from both sides, though. With Gambia's one looks very strong, as you said. Myanmar is also coming next with another observation, second round observation or argument, whatever. What are we to expect? Do you think they would come up with something tangible, maybe to put forward or to convince to the judges that all that Gambia is putting forward is something that they can deny? What should be the expectations?
I think we're going to hear a lot of legalese, a lot of very hard to understand legal arguments about prior ICJ court cases, because I think after this morning, they will be too embarrassed to try to argue the facts. And Aung San Suu Kyi looked shocked, and she looked like she was wishing she could be anywhere in the world except in that courtroom this morning. They described rape. They pointed out that the Myanmar government never mentioned rape yesterday. And they pointed out that she refused to use the word Rohingya, so she's trying to deny their existence. I don't think they're going to try to argue the facts. I think they're going to try to argue that the prior court cases at the ICJ would suggest that the court should not find genocide on intent and therefore issue provisional measures. But I think it's a very good argument.
Okay.
This is really about the strongest case that could be presented under the Genocide Convention for provisional measures, since it's very obvious that the Rohingya remain at grave risk of another round of violence at any time.
All right. Well, just maybe a quick one. Finally, outside the courts, you know, after yesterday's hearings, what are people saying? Actually, because we have people who are, of course, you know, supporting the Gambia's case, and others probably also, you know, supporting the Myanmar's team there in The Hague. What are the views? What are people talking about, if there's any, or if you managed to talk to anyone since yesterday to now?
Yeah, I spoke to people on both sides. There was a large number of Rohingya and there was a large number of supporters of Aung San Suu Kyi. They were kept separated by the police. There was no violence. And it was actually very, you know, fairly calm. The Aung San Suu Kyi supporters were flown in by the government. It's a little bit hard to know how sincere their beliefs were, but I felt personally sad because for years, Human Rights Watch and many others fought for Aung San Suu Kyi's release and for the National League for Democracy, her party, to be allowed to participate in politics in Myanmar. And their claim, backed by our investigations, was that the Burmese military was a highly abusive force that had committed crimes against humanity and war crimes, amongst other serious crimes. And now those very same people were standing in front of the ICJ supporting the Myanmar government. And it just shows that you know, many people simply follow the leader instead of following their conscience. And those people who said they were for democracy and human rights when Suu Kyi was in prison apparently were just for Suu Kyi and not for democracy and human rights. For the Rohingya, it was extremely upsetting to watch Aung San Suu Kyi's presentation yesterday. I think they all knew that she would say what she said, that she would deny genocide, that she wouldn't use the word Rohingya, but still, it was very disappointing for them to see the person that a lot of them used to believe in come to court and basically deny their existence.
So, quickly looking at the submission and counter-submission, do you think this is a busy work for the Court of Justice?
Well, I was talking to some of the lawyers involved here in The Hague, and they expect a decision in early January, only delayed because of the holidays that are coming up. Some of them actually hope that they might get a decision as early as late next week. I don't think they believe it's a very difficult case. There are 17 judges. Most of them would act independently. Some of them probably are put on the court by their governments. They're not expecting a unanimous decision because the ICJ, the judges on the ICJ sometimes try to represent certain interests instead of just looking at the merits of the case. But I think they expect a large majority in favor of the Gambia.
But Adams, Executive Director of Human Rights Watch Asia Division, Thank you very much for your time again. We'll hope to link you up again, probably before or after the Myanmar's team present their case. Thank you very much for your time.
Sure. Thank you very much. I'm really glad you're covering it so closely.
Thank you. Pleasure.